Now we have a 4-part series, Mr. Chumley.
Yeah, it's a 4-part series covering the Akai X7000 sampler keyboard. It was one of their earliest samplers, and we're just going to, in each episode, we're going to take you through a little bit of restoration and repair, and we hope you find it useful.
Every episode will have this introduction, so don't be confused. So we hope you find all of this useful. Take care, watch the vids, enjoy, and we'll see you on the next episode of Take the Fear Out of Gear with me, Jason Bangers.
And me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hit like, hit the bell, subscribe, please.
I've taken the quick disk drive out of the way, as it only seems to be good for loading pre-recorded discs, and I haven't got any. This is what we need. Emulator, loaded up with the HXC firmware. I've got a USB stick here with a configuration file and a couple of quick discs loaded on it. And then the most important thing, this is a little board you can get from eBay. I'll link it in the description. It basically means it converts a quick disk connection to a normal floppy drive, which will go into the back of the emulator. We'll get it all plugged in and we'll see what happens. Well, we're getting there with the X7000. What I've done is, you can see here, you've got the emulator here. I've got this little adapter board by JazzCat. I'll put the link in the description if you want to buy one of those. It saves you making an adapter board yourself. And then your quick disk lead goes right in the back there. What we've also done, I'll just take this out because it's just sitting there. What I've done is, on here, on the sides of the Gotek, I've used a file. I've just taken off like a couple of mil one side, couple of mil the other side, and now fits perfectly in the quick disk slot where the old drive used to be. What I've also done, haven't secured it yet, if I just take this out for a second, like that. I've cut myself a nice piece of wood just to bring the height up, and it gives us something to secure the Gotek to. 2 centimeters deep, 10 centimeters this way. I've cut this one 11, but I think you could get away with 12. You could go 12 this way, which should just give you a bit more on the actual screw holes. But this one fits okay, and then it sort of sits in there, and then what I'll do is, up from the bottom, we'll put some wood screws to secure this in place. We'll take the lid off the emulator because there's some holes in the bottom of it for mounting, and then we'll put a couple of screws in to the wood once it's in position, and then we'll do some further testing. I have tested it. We've loaded the special quick disk firmware that works. We've tested it with some quick disk files, which seems to work. On here you need the jumper set so the motor is on. Don't seem to need any of the other jumpers on. And then the only thing I'm going to do to this before we continue is I'm just going to take the LED segment display out and put an OLED in so it's easy to see what files we're loading. Be back with you in a minute. Well, we've got the Gotek emulator in there. So as I said, I think I put 2 screws up into the wood from the bottom. That holds it fine. And then before I put the lid on the emulator, I put 2 screws into the wood from the top, so that's nice and secure. What I've done is the emulator's come out about 5 mil, so it's sticking. It's not flush with the front here because it just gives you enough room to put this metal plate back in, screw in the 2 screws there. If you wanted it to be flush with the adapter board we got on the back of the drive, you'd have to cut a little bit out of this metal plate so it would fit over. It looks nice just sticking out like 5 mil, far less hassle, and that's it. We'll bring the lid down, switch her on, see if we can load a sample. Switch it on, Akai X7000, set to load, put it on S1. Here we've got disc 1, and we'll just press load, and it's pretty quick. There you go, put the amp on, see if we've got a sample. So that's good. Let's try another disc. Try this one, haven't a clue what this one is. Load. Very lo-fi. So there we go, the Akai Professional X7000. Emulator in, modulation wheel fixed, new capacitors and dry joints done on the power supply, so we've got no hum. We've looked at the display. I'm going to do some further research on that because you can get new displays, so we'll just have to see if we could get something compatible. Apart from that, it all seems to be working great. So we'll see you next time in the workshop.